Welcome back to another Advanced Wars by Web replay review, and today we have a very exciting game on a map that I forgot the name of, but it used to be in the Global League, and I've won a couple of games on this map by bum rushing their HQ, but we're not going to see that today because we are seeing two very good players in action. We've got Minty1054, who's rated around 1170, and we've got Elixa, who's rated just under 1300. So both these players are really good. If I'm in a room and then they also enter the room, I must immediately vacate because I'm not allowed to breathe the same air as them. But we get to look at their games and we get to learn from their gameplay and their tactics. This is a very interesting map indeed, because you've got kind of the two base down here for blue, and then this red base sandwiched in the middle, and then you got the base and airport. So like this red base is like super weak on this side, and then obviously like reverse for blue over here. So you could see like kind of an unmixing scenario where this base gets flipped and this base gets flipped, and it just becomes a left versus right kind of thing. But you also have these kind of pushed up HQs as well, and you have to be careful about them because this base and airport can easily get to the HQ and overwhelm it if you're not careful. Both these players have selected Andy for this tier 3 matchup, who has no day-to-day abilities, but Andy does have the Hyper Repair as normal power, heals 2 damage for all of his units, and Hyper Upgrade, his superpower, heals 5 HP, plus 1 movement, and plus 10% attack for all of his units. And I think that's all the exposition. So let's dive right into this amazing battle and see what we can learn as we watch these two players that are so much better than me and the masters of their craft as they go to work. Okay, this all makes sense. You got to get these. You got to get the neutral base. You got to get the cities that are within capture range of the bases here. All pretty typical good stuff. We're just kind of go through this opening here. We have this infantry going to go to this island up here, and you can sometimes see a recon like out of this blue base, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then bang, it's covering the cities. And then it's really hard for red to get a tank or anything over there to counter the recon. So you want to get these cities early. I have made the mistake of not doing that, and the recon just ruined my day. And then I ruined the recon's day by capturing his HQ. Okay, going in, and you also have, you got 2 comm tower per person map. You got a relatively safe comm tower over here, and over here for each player, and then you have these kind of contested comm towers. Now, red gets to the comm tower sooner here, and blue gets to the comm tower sooner here, but you got to be careful because like you're facing off against 2 bases here, and they could easily overwhelm your forces over here, and especially you got to like this base has to defend against all sides. It's surrounded right in the middle of the enemy camp, so this comm tower often does get contested or flipped even. Okay, all the cities are getting captured, and we see a copter opening out of red. The copter is pretty strong, and it's going to force an anti-air build out of here or out of here, and then the copters are really strong in mixed base because if the anti-air comes out of here, copter just goes horizontal. If the anti-air comes out of here, then the copter just goes vertical. So you got to be careful with these copters in mixed base, and then obviously a copter from blue is not going to be able to arrive over there in any time soon to counter it. But there's the anti-air coming out from blue, but also like without any tank support here from red, then blue can kind of put pressure with the anti-air because the copter isn't doing anything to it. It'll do like 3 damage and then the anti-air one-shot it right back. Okay, so red starting the comm tower down here, and we see the recon over here from blue getting ready to pressure this island right here. And this will be reds, this will be blues, and I think that'll just stay that way long term. Red's also going to try and get this as well. But the thing about the recon is that the shoals do not impede the recon's movement. So the recon can basically travel up and down the prime meridian over here and like cover an HQ rush if necessary, or just put pressure along this shoals to red's infantry right here. The copter moves up. Okay, the anti-air moves in closer to the copter, so we're probably going to see a tank here from red next turn. Recon moves up, a bunch of stuff gets captured, and now blue is going to go over here. I think red is going to be able to start the comm tower but then blue will be able to interrupt. But red does have a tank to back up. But maybe I should talk about red on red's turn, like right now. That's what a smart person would do. That's what an actual real Advanced Wars by Web YouTuber would do. So we're starting some captures right here. So basically, red's kind of telegraphing already that a tank's coming out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it covers both of those cities. So definitely tank coming out of here from red. Red takes a free shot. Starting the comm tower. And there's the tank. And this tank goes down here to help with the comm tower push. We also got some mechs over here from blue last turn that I totally forgot to talk about. The mechs are not too bad out of this base because you can just cross the river and the mountains no problem and start pressuring this city already, or maybe even start pressuring the base. This base can fall pretty fast. It has to deal with this base and the airport, and maybe mechs and infantry coming up from the south. Like, those bases can really fall. Like, this is a really sharp map, I feel like. Okay, recon goes in for the interrupt. That's a free shot. And blue starts the comm tower. And this is going to go through because red doesn't have any infantry in range. But blue is going to try to create some asymmetry here by interrupting red's comm tower. This takes a shot right here. And yeah, the tank is going to be able to cover and kill this infantry. But blue might be able to delay the comm tower and just have that firepower advantage. Takes a shot right here as well, but unfortunately this does open it up to this tank shooting. But another tank, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, another tank will cover the tank right there, so we could have a little tank brawl. And then blue goes in right here, doesn't quite have the firepower to be able to kill this infantry, but getting an infantry down to 1 HP is pretty huge right now. And back to red. Red is going to... Oh, everything's getting supplied. That was weird. Okay, now red is going to move up and take a shot right there. And the 3 knocks it down to 2. Or sorry, the 1 knocks it down to 2, but then survives the counterattack? Whoa. Oh no, because it got repaired. Okay, yeah, there we go. I'm smart. I know what I'm talking about. Alright. Bang. The tank easily picks up that infantry. Gonna continue the cap. Now this thing only has 4 capture points left. But with once blue gets this comm tower, I think this is guaranteed a one-shot with the infantry on that infantry on the comm tower. So I think that comm tower will be interrupted, but it will cost blue a couple of infantry. And now the copter is just getting really bold. It is getting right into the enemy camp. We got 2 blue bases right here, and the copter is going on quite the journey right now. Now the copter actually can't get surrounded because of that infantry kill right here. There's no way that blue can put a unit right here and surround the copter. But if blue, like, you do have to be careful when putting your copter though, like really far ahead, because yeah, nothing can counter the copter. But if blue had an infantry on this city, for example, then maybe the copter can get surrounded on all 4 sides. Then the anti-air comes and claps its cheeks next turn. So just, you know, something to think about. The copter is safe for now though. It'll always have a way out. And now the tank takes a shot right there, and the infantry finishes it off. It does open itself up to a tank counterattack, but if we see another tank out of here, then it'll be covered, and then we could see like a tank brawl when they're fighting here, because this area is within base range. It's within base range of both bases, and kind of the same thing we're seeing over here as well. Or else we would have if this tank decided to go over here and instead of attacking down here. Okay, now we see a mech. You got to counter this tank somehow, and we see another tank over here to counter this tank chain. So this is really good. I mean, this left side is red's strong side. You want to invest over here, but you do need some counter to the tank, so that's what the mech is for. Recon can't reach it. Okay, so now instead of going in on the tank and taking the tank chain, blue is going to attack this infantry right here and be able to reinforce from the base. So good, smart decision there by blue. That's why they're better than me. Now this infantry does get the KO as we predicted. So the comm tower is being neutralized, right? Blue is keeping red off the comm tower, but red will be able to pick up these infantry. And it's all about trade-offs, you know, like blue's training infantry to make sure that red doesn't get the comm tower and have that comm tower advantage. Okay, goes in and takes a shot right here, 8-3, nice shot there. And the infantry kind of move up. Anti-air goes a little closer to put pressure over here. Tank can't reach. and another anti-air comes out from here. So this copter does have to be really careful with this anti-air build. You could go over here and it'd be safe from the anti-air, but you could also go like around these mountains up here and take a shot at the mech, which is also safe from the anti-air. But then, well, if you take a shot at the mech, you could run into some like air reinforcements from blue. I don't think blue wants to be building another anti-air, but these anti-airs could just lead this, you know, take a wild goose chase on this copter. Okay. Infantry gets finished off. This infantry gets finished off by the recon. We don't see any really recon counters over here. These mechs kind of can counter it, but the recon can easily just kite the mechs. And okay, goes in on this shot right here. Takes a shot on the mech. I don't know if, I mean, it is at a range of the tank, so I don't know if this is like super good value, because the mech will get healed up to 6, be able to get a mountain shot on the tank right there, and then whatever else gets built here will also put pressure on the tank. But blue's better than me, so I'm not questioning it. Okay, now red goes in and takes a shot on this mech. Another safe square. Yeah, this mech could be shot at because no anti-air can cover it, and same with this mech. You got these rivers, these mountains protecting the copter, and that's why copters are so good on these mixed base maps. You can just move in and out of the terrain, and then these anti-airs like just have to like, you know, just weave around the wilderness in order to catch up with the copter. Okay, so the mech does take that mountain shot, knocking the tank down to 5. So the mech's already made up for its value, because doing 5 damage on the tank is 3,500, and the mech as a whole is worth 3,000. So it ended up not being too good value-wise for blue, but maybe blue can use the pressure this tank is causing to make gains elsewhere. Red goes in over here, picks up an infantry, picks up this infantry, and this tank and this infantry are going to pick this one up. Goes in for a capture right here, and the tank protects from the anti-air, and this infantry is protected as well by another copter coming in from red and the tanks. So red is kind of preparing for a little battle over here, and then another tank comes out from red over here. So blue's just got to be careful, and with these like infantry positioned like this, they're covering these cities that blue could get, and it also makes it difficult for the tank to retreat. In fact, this tank really can't retreat anywhere without getting shot by this tank right here, because the tank goes to here, and then this tank can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and get that nice city shot, which would finish it off. So really good position there from red with this little like I don't know, like half a rowboat formation, I guess, to kind of hem this tank in from blue. But we'll see what blue can do. The mechs move up, starting this city now, but this isn't really going to go through, but we got the mechs covering, and then this infantry does get finished off, and back to blue. So how will blue deal with this little conundrum? We got, our artillery build last turn. The mech comes in and takes a shot. Anti-air, doesn't quite get the, was that a roll? Let's see. Let's get the calc. No, he actually high roll. So anti-air knocks this infantry down to 1 HP, which effectively stops the city from being captured. And now blue has taken back over the southern island, basically. So this infantry, once it gets picked up, blue will be able to capture this. Artillery moves up, infantry protects, starting this now. Now red does have to be careful about the HQ, right? If red doesn't guard the HQ, this infantry will just step off the city and onto the HQ. So red's got to be a little careful. Oh, and then the tank takes a nice shot on the mech, knocking it all the way down to 1 HP. And you got to finish off these Andy units, though. You don't want them to all get repaired and then come back with a vengeance. And then this tank goes in on this infantry, and this infantry finishes it off. So really good tactic there by blue. This tank is not in range to reinforce anything. This mech will be able to get a shot off, but a lot of damage done there by blue. So good play there. Anti-air moves up to get ready to intercept the copter over here. And this tank finishes off the mech, and it will get finished off by the red tank, but this red tank will have to go up in order to attack. The copter's out of range, and the tank, in order for this tank to attack, it have to stay on the base, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to block your own base. Okay, back to red. Well, red is down Wakam Tower, and is down 2 cities, and is down 3 units and about 17k in value. Hopefully I did my math well, but let's see. But it is Red's turn, so let's see what Red can cook up. Bang! Tank easily goes down there, and Copter, good shot on the mech, knock it down to 2, and takes a shot on the artillery, and this mech gets finished off. Now this it is within tank range, and then the Copter would have come up and reinforced, but this Copter could also reinforce as well. Maybe anti-air comes out, and I think long term Red could win this area, assuming Blue doesn't bring reinforcements from the south, which I think Blue would do. Okay, now this anti-air is not long for this world. It easily gets taken out, and Red could make an HQ push over here. Just got to get some infantry over there. This infantry, it just kind of resigns itself to its fate and takes a shot at this infantry right here. Copter goes forward, and this infantry finishes off the artillery. So we have a little tank chain going on here. Oh, this tank can actually attack from the woods, and then there's no coverage there from Red, and without the hyper upgrade, which we are getting close. They're almost fully operational. So just something to look out for when you're playing against Andy. You always got to be mindful of that hyper upgrade. Everything just has to be finished off. This 1 HP mech is thanking his lucky stars that he survived, and when the hyper upgrade gets popped, there'll be a 6, and it'll be a force to be reckoned with. Alright, back to Blue. There's no point going for the HQ because Red has too much coverage, so this city will just get finished, and interrupts the comm tower again. You might as well, you know, you have an advantage on the comm towers. You want to make that last as long as possible. So now Blue goes over here. There's no reinforcements from Red, so Blue can make some gains over on the northwest area. Recon takes a shot on this infantry, trying to take the city. So unless this tank like sneaks around this way, there's no way that this recon will ever like be killed. So this recon will just keep bullying these infantry over and over. Okay, Blue takes a shot and moves the Copter up, taking a shot at this infantry as well. But we're really close at hyper upgrade range, and this anti-air is really close. It just needs a hyper upgrade, and then that Copter is gone. So Blue kind of regroups, starts this city, might as well. Red could sack the 4 to interrupt it. There's another Copter coming in from Blue, and finishes off this infantry right here. So Blue's made some good gains right here, but we almost have the hyper upgrade. So now these neck turns are super crucial. But Red's not even waiting around. Sacrifices the Copter, which by the way started over here and now ended up sacrificing itself on this square right here to this anti-air to get that charge. Now Blue just needs 2,500 more charge, and gonna get that with that tank shot right there, and gonna take a couple more shots, and now there's the hyper upgrade. And now with that extra movement, everything is going to, you're gonna see some fireworks. So there's the anti-air going in, one-shots the Copter using that extra movement to get it done, and goes in on the tank as well. And this tank now uses the extra movement to finish off this tank. This tank comes down here, shoots at the infantry in order for this infantry to come down, in order for this tank to finish it off. Not really worrying about that anti-air so much, because you got these 3 tanks in this area to the Blue's 1 tank. Copter goes over here, and now Red has actually won this island back, and finished off this infantry as well. So now Red's going to start this island right here, and it's going to be hard for, I don't think Blue can stop that. Maybe, I don't even think with the hyper upgrade. 1, 2, 3, yeah. There's a bug. Always when I record, the bugs decide to attack my face. So this city is going through. There's nothing that Blue can do to stop it. And now Red starts these cities as well, brings the artillery. And the artillery on this map are pretty strong if you can get them in the right positions, because our artillery right here locks down the base, but at the same time, the artillery right now is like kind of in the open where it can be attacked by the Blue tank. But Red just has a lot of tanks over here, and Blue's got a hyper upgrade as well, but Red did a good job of making sure that units were finished off. You have a few weakened units that get repaired up, but Red builds some more vehicles, and back to Blue. Blue goes in for a tank attack and pops the hyper upgrade, healing the tank. Anti-air one-shots the infantry. This anti-air one-shots this infantry right here. Copter comes in, knocks the tank all the way down to 2, Shot right there. Recon is still holding down that city, locking that down, and red finally got the comm tower last turn, but now blue will make a little incursion up here onto this city, and takes a shot right here, trading off that infantry, and goes in on this city as well, and takes a shot here, another shot here, and tries to get a roll on the tank, but only knocks it down to 1 HP, and interrupts that. The artillery is going to just destroy that infantry next turn, and then blue resigns, because as much as progress as blue made that turn, I think red's attack is just too strong right there. You got these 3 tanks right here versus these 2 tanks. Give this artillery another tank and a copter about to join the fray. So I think that was a pretty reasonable forfeit by blue. Also, this north area was not looking too good. This copter is going to trade by this anti-air. This tank could come around, hit the anti-air, and this tank could also exert some pressure up here, down here. So that hyper upgrade turn really changed a lot of things, and blue saw the writing on the wall and resigned. Let's see if we got the stats graph working. We do. Look at that. Let's take a look at army value. So as you can see, when that hyper upgrade happened, it really created the difference there. And that was kind of like the turn that swung it all. Let's look at damage. Yeah, you see the hyper upgrade turn, 32,000 damage inflicted in that turn, but also on turn 9, 20,000 damage. So, and this doesn't have the red color anymore because I changed the colors to make it more high contrast. But just pretend these are red. So red really did a good job winning these value trades late in the game and earned the victory. And I thought this is a really interesting game to look at, as we can look at like kind of how pros approach these mixed-based maps in some of these tactical situations and the kind of maneuvers that they go for. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.